Health Services in Clinton. All of our PT folks are trained in lots of specialties, just like a bigger facility, to get you back in the game from a sports injury, or if you're in need of any other physical therapy your doctor prescribes. We offer quality, compassionate care close to home, so don't go out of town. Come see us at the Warner Hospital and Health Services Physical Therapy Department, and we'll get you back in the game.
You want to feel important.
You want to be part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong.
We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more.
When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it.
We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors.
From the lake shores of Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota,
the fertile fields of Indiana, Illinois, and Iowa, to the wide open plains of North and South Dakota.
We are here for our hometowns.
And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Illinois Army National Guard, aired by the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
Accidents are less likely to occur when you know where to look for danger. Around the farm and work site, it pays to look up for electric power lines. Tractor front loaders, grain augers, even radio antennas can be hazardous if they come into contact with high voltage lines. So always look up and be sure to have adequate clearance.
Today and every day in 2022, think and practice safety first.
Sponsored by McLean County Farm Bureau in Bloomington, advocating for agriculture.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. DeWitt County Board Chair Terry Ferguson is my guest in studio today. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Seth.
You ready for the Apple and Pork Festival?
We're getting there.
Good.
We're getting there. We've got a couple things to do. Got to finish cleaning the barn, the display barn, and put up some sun or rain shelters over the ham and bean serving lines.
Mm-hmm.
And clean a couple kettles up to get ready to cook beans. So
all right,
we're getting there.
Moving right along. So how long does it take you these days to recover from the Apple and Pork weekend? Because you probably don't have much time to transition from that into your harvest.
No, it seems like it takes a little longer every year.
You and me both, my friend. You and me both. So now you are manning the brat stand, of course.
Yeah, the brat stand.
The brat barn.
And I'm kind of the co-manager of the ham and bean stand. We
okay.
got, kind of turning that over to Nathan Lippert. He's coming along and he's learning what needs to happen other than just the day that you cook. There's
learning the ropes.
It takes about a week to get ready for everything.
Gotcha. Now, when you talk about getting ready for Apple and Pork from the homestead perspective, of course, you've got what their booths are: the apple butter, the cider floats, the brats, the ham and beans, ham sandwiches. Mm-hmm. When do you guys start, working on getting some of this stuff in?
We started ordering everything about checking into the supply situation really about 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And
what'd you find?
Well, we got everything this year. Last year, it took 3 tries to find cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we got it. And then they'd call up and say, no, we don't. Now we got it. No, we don't.
Well, that's frustrating.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But now what'd you find this year?
This year we just got what we wanted. We placed the order and it all came in. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's really good. How about inflation? I mean, how is that impacting stuff?
Some of the stands raised their prices a little bit. The price of the ham and the paper products and stuff like that is what really, the condiments, the mustard and ketchup packets, and that kind of stuff is what's really escalated in price.
Huh.
Maybe
so not necessarily the food, but the small stuff.
We're talking probably for like the ham and beans, probably a 15% increase in the food costs, but there's a lot of margin in a bowl of beans, so we left the price the same. We decided to absorb the increase in costs.
Yeah.
You can't just I don't want to end up having to raise something a quarter or 50 cents and then have to dink around with making change and all that business. And and it's
Just keep it simple.
I felt it was a little ridiculous to raise the price of a bowl of beans $1. So,
Right.
you know,
There you go.
yeah,
Good
so
deal.
we'll just keep it the same.
Sure. Now, we were talking a little bit about who's going to be out on the grounds this year, and getting groups in and figuring out who's going to man what and what they're going to serve. How have you found this environment of, like you talked about, inflation, supply chain stuff? What have you found that? How have you found that to impact groups, and if they're going to be at the grounds?
Well, I
and such
don't
this year?
think it's impacted them that much. Their main problem is aging out. The Kiwanis have been there for years as the funnel cake people, but the Kiwanis organization broke up, and they dissolved. Years ago, the Elks had been doing the ham and beans. They dissolved.
Right.
We ended up trying to find new groups, but we're short a few vendors this year. One of the church groups gave up the breakfast, so there's the American Legion is going to do biscuits and gravy on the grounds, but we won't have the fried apples and the scrambled eggs and the sausage and all that.
Yeah, right. Gotcha. So now when it comes to the brat barn, what are you planning on there? How did you, because last year was, I'm sure, a banner year for you all out there.
We sold out last year pretty early. We just kept the same number. You never know what the weather's going to do. So, that stuff's a special order, but we got 3,000 units there to go through, so we'll be in pretty good shape.
Very good. So check out the brat barn. You're at that. You're at the base of the hill by the covered bridge.
Yep.
As you transition over to the flea market, so swing by, grab a brat as you head that way. And if you're so inclined, as well, Terry, you mentioned, of course, the Homestead does the apple butter. They do the cider floats, ham and beans, the ham sandwiches. Yep. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think you got them all.
All right, so check it out. Support the Homestead. Of course, this is the biggest fundraiser for the Homestead. You've been on the Homestead board for many years, Terry. I know we're putting different hats on for you here this morning, so I apologize for that. But no, how about Apple and Pork in your time, and just what you found the benefits of this festival to be for the organization and the group?
Well, it is the main source of funding for the museum, and it's been very successful through the years. I think Dick Kortz wrote about it in the Journal this week, that talked about the uniqueness of the festival, of involving all the nonprofit groups in town, letting them raise their share of their resources for their needs during the year. Also, it's the big fundraiser for the entire community, and we've been able to keep it a free festival, and don't have to charge at the gate to get in, and it's a very unique facility.
Now, what has been, from your perspective, the key to the longevity of this event? I mean, you've been doing this basically your whole life. So how about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a camaraderie, and it's a good opportunity for everybody to get together and kind of have a little bit of a reunion, I think. And like I said, it enables all the groups to do their major fundraising in a 2-day period, which is pretty unique.
Very good. So, well, Terry, what's other than when you're not doing the brat stand, what do you like to get to in terms of the food that's on the Homestead grounds?
Oh, I like the Kenny Civic Leads, their apple Danish, the cheerleaders, caramel apple sundaes. There's more food than a guy can eat.
Some of us get to it though.
Yeah.
And it shows.
We try our best.
And it shows. But no, Terry, I tell you what, with that, let's shift over to the DeWitt County Board Meeting. Terry Ferguson in studio with us today, flipping off his hat from the Homestead and the C.H. Moore Museum Board to the DeWitt County Board Chair. And Terry, I tell you what, a short meeting last night. How about that?
This interview may be longer than the board
than the meeting. You're not wrong.
We had a pretty short agenda last night.
No doubt. Well, let's talk about Marina, because there's going to be more money spent and invested at the Marina. What's going on there?
Yeah, of course, we finally closed on the property that we sold there at the Marina. We had plans. We looked into what needed to be done before we go into winter. Some of the boat slips and the docks, the original flotation was styrofoam chunks.
Oh,
the
wow.
The styrofoam's starting to
Come apart,
deteriorate,
yeah.
and we're going to have to go in and add some flotation to some of the docks. And we kind of just pulled the number out of the hat. We hadn't been able to get with a maintenance crew to give us a firm number at the time of the committee meeting. So we asked for $15,000 to get the ball rolling to start installing some new floats here going into the winter. We think maybe that'll get us through, hopefully, and then we'll have a more of evaluation of what we need to do then before spring.
Mm-hmm. You know, we're putting a lot of money into the marina, and I'm not saying it's not warranted. You know, from the sounds of it, there's a lot of work that needs to go in out there. But I sat there last night listening, and I just wondered, we're really, you know, meeting after meeting, month after month, really putting a lot of money into that. Do we have the money for all this?
Oh yeah, we've like I said, we sold that 80 acres. You know, it generated about $750,000, and you know, we're just gonna slowly reinvest and get it back up into shape.
Gotcha. So very good. Well, Terry, as it relates to the marina, what's the latest on the contract with Joe Caldwell? Is what's going on there?
Well, we extended it for another year. There, he'll be there through the 23 season.
Okay.
And we'll be looking at, you know, resubmitting the contract, looking for some changes in the details of the contract. You know, some of the things that are written in the contract, you know, prohibit us from raising the ramp fees to the day boaters. You know, It's been $5 out there for a long time, and we're finding that the day boaters cost us more than what we make.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, the parking lots need to be updated. Mm-hmm. You know, there's always courtesy dock issues, and you know, and it's one of those deals where we need to reevaluate how we deal with those issues.
I see. Gotcha. So a renegotiation coming in a couple of years then.
Yeah, we'll be working on that this coming summer.
All right. Very good. Now, did the insurance issue get worked out? I feel like I remember someone saying it did, but I can't remember.
Well, I guess I'm at a loss there.
The insurance that Joe needed. That was
that part. Yeah. He got that put in place.
That's what I thought.
I had a little problem getting the final paperwork from the company, but we got all the certificates we needed for that.
All right, very good. Yeah. So, well, Terry, I'll tell you what, look at the clock. Let's take a time out, come back and talk some more. DeWitt County Board Chair Terry Ferguson, my guest in studio this morning. More to come with him on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Friday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn, beans, and wheat all starting the day double-digit lower. December corn, 673 1/4 down 15. March corn down 14 1/2. 678 3/4. May corn, 680. That's down 14 1/4. November beans starting the day, 1432 3/4, down 24 1/4. January beans down 23 1/4, 1440. March beans 1442 1/2, down 22 1/2. December wheat 888 3/4, down 22. March wheat down 20 3/4, 901 1/4. May wheat 906 1/2, down 21. October bean meal down 740, 438.50. And October bean oil starting today, 67.72, down $1.71. The energy market, November crude oil, 79.90, down $3.59. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
When you're shopping for a different car or truck, we don't expect you to come in knowing exactly what you want. That's our job. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. Our staff is trained to ask questions, listen, and help you find the right vehicle that fits your needs. Whether you need 3 rows of seats or something sporty to zip around town with, we'll find the right transportation solution which checks all the right boxes just for you. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson here with a supply chain update. While we're working as best we can to keep our shelves stocked with the items you need and want every day, We're experiencing never-before-seen interruptions in product availability and delivery, both through Save-A-Lot and our direct suppliers. In most cases, they can't run their production lines due to the lack of workers, plus a shortage of truck drivers. Despite all that, we're working to keep the meat, produce, and other products you buy in stock and on our shelves every day. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
O'Reilly Auto Parts offers more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also test your battery, install your new wiper blades, and diagnose your check engine light for free. For the best service, advice, auto parts, and accessories, stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Clinton on West Van Buren Street across from Clinton Family Restaurant.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Last year, thousands of accidents involving agricultural equipment occurred on America's highways, resulting in hundreds of injuries and scores of deaths. Please be alert for other drivers on the road and make sure your vehicles and equipment are in good shape, including the brakes and lights. This week and every week in 2022, think and practice safety first.
Sponsored by Piatt County Farm Bureau in Monticello. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Piatt Co. Farm Bureau.
Who's ready for fall? We are here at Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton. We have flannels, sweaters, jackets, boots, Halloween costumes, and more. And right now, all adult clothing is 10% off. This is Connie reminding you to check us out on Facebook or DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Utterback at Utterback Real Estate, and we've got you covered. It's finally time for pumpkin spice and coveralls. No, I mean covering all of our buyers and sellers' needs. Like pumpkin spice coffee and caramel covered apples. And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Get covered by clicking the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Defending Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, DeWitt County Board Chair Terry Ferguson. Terry, as we talked this morning, last night, a lot of discussion about some digitization of county records and wanting to maybe review the cost on that. So what's the situation? What are we doing here?
Yeah, previously we had authorized $91,000 to digitize the, I call them the fish cards, and those the reader we got is a used one we found when ours broke down. They don't make them anymore, and we'd already authorized doing that project. And then last week at the finance meeting, we talked about authorizing another maybe $150,000 to take care of some of the stuff we got on microfilm tape, and some of us got to talking about it and thinking about it that maybe we ought to wait until we get the $91,000 project done, see how it all works out. Maybe we might need to pursue another company, or maybe you don't want to reward a company with another big contract until you see how they do with the one they've been working on.
Right.
And it's a big deal. There's documents that need to be preserved, but the microfilm stuff it never was designed to be readable. It was designed to be so you could restore if you lost your paper copies.
Okay.
Due to a fire, but there's no big rush on that. But that is one of the uses of the ARPA fund that makes a lot of sense. It's something that you don't normally. It's not part of maintenance and security and this and that. It's just historic preservation. Something that's a little hard to maybe budget for, but we're going to be looking at it again.
Sure. Now, and you mentioned to me off the air, like kind of hoping that whatever is next is kind of that final step, correct?
Yeah, I hope. The microwave film, or the microfilm, was the technology of the 60s and 70s, and it's no longer readable.
Sure.
The fish cards are no longer readable. I hope the cloud doesn't go away, but I'm sure 50 years from now, it'll be something new that you got to work with.
Well, at least it's 50 years from now and not, 50 months from now.
Yeah, we hope.
So, we're having to pour more money into those things. And that's kind of the frustration with, these technology updates from a government standpoint, especially small government, is, always having to keep up with that. And that's more expense out of your budget towards those things.
It's kind of like the 911.
Yeah.
There's always updates coming for that that you have to adopt to stay current.
Sure.
And it costs a lot of money.
Sure. Well, Terry, anything else on last night's meeting? Anything you want to highlight from that?
No, when the big item of the evening was replacing carpet with waterproof laminate flooring.
Yeah.
The hallways are the carpets are getting pretty old, and this waterproof laminate flooring is something that'll be easy to maintain, and I think it'll be a good deal.
Very good. Terry, looking ahead to October meeting, sounds like budget time. So what are we looking at for October?
Yeah, early, and I think the 4th or the 5th, I believe it is, the Finance Committee is going to meet with the auditor and go over finalize the budget. And hopefully we'll have that ready to put on file at the October board meeting. It has to be placed on file by November 1st. And there's a lot to go through there. A lot of line items, individual decisions need to be made on expenditures. You got to get your revenue and expected revenues, and then try to balance it out with the expenditures. And hopefully we'll be able to maintain the tax rate at what it was. It's looking like it's going to be a very good outcome.
Very good. Now, when it comes to the budget, just a lot of uncertainty. How have you handled that so far?
Well, I don't know. We're still, I guess probably the biggest uncertainty we've got is that new Safety Act that Springfield is shoving down our throats of eliminating the fines and fees that some of our less than desirable individuals have been used to having to pay when they go before the judge. And it's going to require us to offer court dates to them over the weekends. So that'll be an extra expenditure, but we think we're going to be able to handle it all right.
Very good. Well, Terry, anything else coming up in October? Anything on the radar as of now for the October meeting?
Think you never know.
Never know, for sure.
The budget's always the big thing in October.
Sure. Terry, tell you what, we'll see you at Apple and Pork.
See you there, friend.
Maybe let's have a beer afterwards. Terry Ferguson, DeWitt County Board Chair, my guest in studio for today. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM, W222.